unpack him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just practicing the Judaism, and then so anytime people just came with me with any kind of dispute or argument, you know, that's what I'd say. Yo, look, bruv, Torah, like, don't even go there. This is it. This is the book. This is the original language. It's the first language, man. Can't. So I was in that for a good while. You know, I used to go to Israel a lot. You know, I studied in the yeshivas. I was there with the top rabbis. I was like, I was in there. I was like proper in there. I used to go there all the time. People knew, like, I'd be in the UK. I'd save up my money. Boom, jump on a plane, Israel. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah. I actually came very close at one point in my life where I was actually gonna just elope. I was gonna like migrate. I was gonna just live in Israel, and you know, get married over there, whatever, and live my life over there. That was the plan.
Okay.
That was the plan. That's how deep I was in it. Like, I was in it, like immersed in it. Like, you know. And
what was the thing that pulled you from doing that?
Well, the two things. Obviously, when I met that rabbi and he start broken down the astrology thing, he put like a whole different spin on the whole thing again. Like, he was trying to say, this stuff's it's mythological, it's metaphorical, it's astrological. It's not just about going and you're praying and you're doing all of this kind of Judaic stuff. That rabbi basically, because that rabbi, interestingly enough, was outlawed. Because he was into like Kabbalah, astrology, and the other rabbis didn't like that he was doing all of that. He was like literally like, he was like one of the outcasts, outsider kind of rabbis. No, we can't have you doing this kind of thing. So he was trying to show him that, look, it's all of this stuff there where man's going to the synagogue and you're just praying. That's the ritualistic part. Yeah, you're doing the ritual. He goes, yeah, that's fine. Like, in terms of to become a better person. But you got to understand what these stories are about. He was like the first one who was laying it down to me. Like, all of them Bible stories, they're all astrological. They're all mythological. They're all kind of. So that's where when I came into people like Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine, it connected. It's like,
totally.
Now it's really making sense. I get you now. What you're talking about is that this. But he's trying to say that this Bible ain't just telling you stories. There's a meaning to all of this. You know what I'm trying to say? It's all allegorical and stuff like that. But at the time, it wasn't really fully sinking in.
Gotcha.
You know, in terms of like what, you know, I was just getting bits and pieces, but I wasn't fully I thought I'd got it, but I wasn't. It was just, I was just getting bits and pieces, just being thrown in kind of thing. And, you know, because he kept saying, study the mythology, and then when I come to Bobby Hemmett, get the mythology, man, get on this mythology. He's quoting all these mythology books. And then Phil Valentine, study this mythology, man. It's all about, it's all the mythology. And then when I went to this green thing with the tarot, again, when I went to the tarot class with Liz Green, I'm thinking, it predicts your future. Yeah, she was talking all about that, but she was like, no, it's mythology.
That's how I'll be telling people, man. It's mythology, man.
It's mythology, you know what I mean? Because I'm expecting Liz Green to say, this card means this is going to happen to you in the future. Yeah, she did branch on that, but most of it was like, look, it's a mythology. I'm trying to show you that these cards are telling you a story about the mythology that's pertaining to you. And if you get the mythology, you get the cards. You understand the cards even better. You know what I'm trying to say? So I was like, okay, cool. I get it now. So it was just about all, you know, I think I was going through a period of just gathering bits and pieces of information at that time, just trying to piece it all together. So that's where the Ifa thing came, or the Ifa thing came again round about that time, that whole time with the whole Sister Rosanna, the whole Ifa thing. That's when I knew of it before, but not in the way, you know what I'm trying to say. It's when the Bobby Hemmets and all that law, the Ifa system is like, I need to venture into this one more and see what this Ifa system is really about. And it's by going in there and then by going into the, you know, chilling out with the Babalawos and the people, again, who are into that, the mystery schools, and being initiated myself. I think I got initiated in 2007. I got initiated into the thing of Ogun. That was when with Chief Adelekon and all that lot was thing. Went over to 2007, got initiated, you know, into the Ogun. So that's where I really started like, okay, started really getting, And you know what? I'll tell you something, short story. Again, that Troy, remember I told you about Troy, you told me about the medium who introduced me, who gave me the reading. When I got initiated and I came back, I was vibing with him. And he goes to me, oh, so what's this? What's this initiation? What's it like? So I was telling him about the initiation, and I was telling him about the Ifa system, about the divination, how they do the divination. And for some reason, he just kept wanting to know more about the Ifa, like the divination thing.
Yeah.
And you know, he just kept prompting me, and I didn't quite know why. Like he just kept saying, "Tell me more about that. It sounds interesting." And like, so I was telling him about like I had the chain, the upper chain, and how it lands, and it's like a binary system. And he went, "Oh," and I went, "Yeah." It goes like, you know, there's 8, but there's 256 ways, formats in terms of how it comes. 250 odus of Ifa. And he was like, he turned around to me, I swear to God, and he goes, "Bruv, do you know what you're talking about?" I went, "No, because I'm talking about the Ifa system, bro." He goes, no. He goes, "Do you know what you're talking about, bro?" He goes, "That's computers." And I went, "What?" What you're talking about the thing landing, and that's a 1 and that's a 0 and you've got 256. He goes, "That's computers. You're talking about the 16 because the 16 bits, 32 bits, and all that lot. Because you're talking computers, bro." And I thought,
technology. You're talking technology, yeah, mate.
This thing's technology, and I never forget it. You see, the following week, I remember because I've got a priest, like Ifa priest in Nigeria. I'm still in contact with him. And I remember ringing him up, and I remember on the phone I was talking to him. I goes, "I think I'm beginning to get this thing. This thing's mathematics, isn't it?" And he goes, you know what he said? He goes, "You got it, bruv." And I said to him, I said, "Why didn't you tell me in the beginning?" He goes, "I wanted you to see whether you're going to figure it out, whether you're going to notice it." I said, "Well, why didn't you just tell me in the beginning?" Because he didn't mention nothing like that. So the moment I went, "Oh, this thing's mathematical," he went, "Yeah," he goes, "But it's mathematics."
Right. And then while you're on that note and divination and the system, do you know any connections? Because I've heard it before, and I'm pretty sure you do. And if you could share on it in relation to the I Ching, you know, the divination system that you find in Asia.
Asia, yeah, as well. And not just in Asia, because I've come across now that now this now comes into this is, and as far as I know, for now, this is the oldest divination method. So the Ifa is one of the oldest forms of divination. I'm not necessarily saying the Yoruba are the ones who originated it, but that form of divination is the oldest form of divination, and that's what's known as geomancy. Geo meaning earth, mancy meaning divination. So that's what they do. That's what the Dogons are doing. That's what the Yoruba are doing. That's what they're doing. The Sangomas in South Africa are doing. So the I Ching is the Asian or Chinese version of that also as well. The Arabs were doing it also as well. I've got like documents, information where it's showing you the Arabs are doing it. In Europe, they had their own version also as well, where they're drawing lines in the earth, where you use sticks to draw lines in the earth, and one will be a 2, one will be a 1, and stuff like that. It's the oldest divination on planet Earth. They've got like artifacts and images what are showing you, man, like thousands and thousands of years ago, where they're using that kind of system as a form of geo pattern. Now, the argument, or I mean, I'm open. That's where I tell you who really kind of opened me up to that understanding was Wayne Chandler. When Wayne Chandler used to come over, again, it was just shortly after, I think round about that 2005, maybe about 2007, 2008, around that time, Wayne Chandler was coming over. I remember meeting him. And for the first time, he did a talk up in Clapham. And he came over. He was more focusing on the African presence in China.
Okay.
Years of stuff like that. and he was showing, like, after the talk, and I remember he came up to me and he goes, "Bro, you move like a pugilist." He said that. I goes to him, I goes, "Yeah," I goes, I used to be a boxer. He goes, "Yeah," he goes, "Oh, that's why." He goes, "I remember him coming up to me because he goes, you move like a pugilist." And I was like, "What?" Like, nobody even uses those words, a pugilist.
Yeah.
He goes, "You're moving like a pugilist." And I said, "Yeah." But it was from him, because I was in contact with Wayne Chandler. I used to like, email him and stuff like that. And he was the one who's kind of, basically, obviously, his school of thought was that, obviously, the Africans who migrated or moved to that area, that region, took those divination systems with them. And obviously, that's what gave birth to the I Ching. But again, it's a series of, again, the diagrams, it's the same thing, 64. It's all basically working in twos, masculine and feminine, and it creates this binary system that you can use as a form of divination and understanding situations and characters and natures of things, and that's what that gave birth to the I Ching. But from my research, from what I've been studying, all civilizations, most of them, were dealing with this geomancy. I mean, putting marks in the ground to mark things. Okay, that's feminine, that's one, that's two, and Ifa is one of those.
I know, you know, like everything from the rods and staffs, being able to, you know, basically dealing with working with earth energies. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That was,
Yeah.
you know, partly what I guess the religions were trying to usher out and saying, you know, like earlier on, you were just saying like that's the stuff that you kind of want to get rid of, and we don't.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying, was discredited.
Exactly. They're demonized.
Yeah.
Demonized, discredited, you know, go out because with the religion blame the whole of Christianity, but Christianity does have a huge role and a part to play in it. And so does things like Islam and Judaism as well, is that it basically, it was, religion it's a power thing. Because the more people you have obviously under your banner or your wing or your congregation, the more power you have. So basically it became very, very competitive. And the way you kind of got over on your competitors was to demonize them, outlaw them, make them the bad guy. So, you know, why you're not going to be pushing for that in church, because you want people to follow your system, because you've labeled it the right one, and your way is the only way. So anybody who's doing anything outside of that is doing something demonic, devilish. It's not appropriate. Don't go there, because, you know, the pastor's not going to say, "Oh yeah, go to your local astrologer or your tarot card reader and get a reading," or whatever. But the likelihood is probably weren't going to see you in church next week Sunday.
But what's ironic, haven't you found, especially back home, you know, like I'm sure you find it in Nigeria amongst your people, that you might have households where they're Christian or Muslim practicing households, and without a shadow of a doubt, they're still going to check the Babalawo now. They're still going to check the gang.
Listen, as a youngster, my dad and my mum went to readers regular. It's just that I wasn't paying it no mind. For me, I'm as a Western kid, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, what the hell is all this stuff? And man's taking oil and rubbing it on me, and man's doing whatever ritual and killing. I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm not. So in a way, it just wasn't kind of sinking in, and because again, I had that kind of Christian mindset also as well. So I went through this phase where, like, I was getting mixed messages. Like, hold on a minute, you're Christian, this is devilish, but yet we're going to the same man who you're claiming that he's doing this devilish thing. But you know what I'm trying to say? But it's like, oh no, but he's doing good. Oh, so then it's good then. Okay, all right. So I'm getting these mixed messages. From you know, growing up, especially like teenage years and stuff like that. But my mum took me to Babalawo's, like, not regular, but I can remember definitely like 4 or 5 times going with my dad. I remember going to a spiritual reader, going at least, again, about 4 or 5 times, you know, separate times. They would just take me there, have things done, you know, with the Babalawo and stuff like that, and getting readings and stuff. My dad, to the day he died like 2012, he was 86. Pretty much to the day he died. And he's got one guy who's like a Babalawo, back in Nigeria. I'm still in contact with him actually, and I knew him through my dad. And my dad used to go to him like every couple months. He was up in there. You know what I'm trying to say? When I used to go visit my dad in Nigeria before he passed, every time I'd go, we'd go there.
Gotcha.
And my man would go, and man would do a little reading, and man would say, "Oh, well, yeah, man, you're changing job, or you've met one woman, or whatever." Man would tell me things like, "Wow, okay, man's on it," man's on it. But yeah, my dad was seeing him until like he did. But my dad was like, he was a Methodist. He had some honor thing that they gave him in the church. He was like, well, what was it? Father of the church or something like that. He had some like honor like thing that he got from the church. Man was big in the Methodist church. Like, like when I go to Nigeria and I go to the area where my dad, every man knows me. Oh yeah, your thing's son, innit? You're Mr. Ajose's son of, he's the big man in the church and give big offering and but he's going to about hour as well. So it's like that was like it's norm. It's like it's kind of, but they would keep that more secret. So that's what I find again in Nigeria. So like the Babalawos and stuff like that, they would be, people wouldn't talk, they wouldn't use that word so freely in public. You know what I'm trying to say? You wouldn't say like, to say, oh, you're going to go and see the pastor. That's nothing. I'm going to go and see the imam. Yeah. I'm going to see the Babalawo. Yeah? You know what I'm trying to say? It's not an open discussion. It's not something that you openly hear. People obviously of the same like minds. Of course, they would use that. Definitely. You know what I mean? I would use that because I'm into that. So I'm not afraid. When I go to Nigeria, I'll tell them, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go and see my Babalawo man, innit? Like, like that. It's his thing. But to them man who are Christian, they're like, ooh, he's going to see Babalawo. That's how they're viewing it, So that the demonized is still there, on some level, even though they know that certain Babalawos are doing certain works. Like sometimes I speak with my aunties, sisters, and they tell me like, oh, I had this problem and I went to go and see this Babalawo and man fixed it. What you're saying, bro, but yeah, you're going to church on Sunday. like, you pick and choose what you want, innit? It's like,
we are really good at that, as a human species. And,
exactly.
And especially in our community, in the church, we always say, they pick and choose what parts of the Bible they want to share just to, complement the movement and the agenda. And
exactly.
That will filter through to the congregation. You're going to pick and choose things, but I guess we live and we learn. And as I said, for the simple fact that you can't leave the Babalawo alone is testimony to the fact of what his work and that kind of work is.
Most definitely.
It's standard the test, the test of time.
Yeah.
So the test of time. But bro, I know we're really close to there, and I've got to, I want to wrap it up, and I want to do it official before the time.
Yeah, no problem, man.
We got to get out of here, and
we've got to do the part 2, bro.
Yeah, bro, because we ain't got on the metaphysics, we ain't got onto the occult. You just now opened up about the divination.
Oh yeah.
Like
we just brushed past it.
Yeah, man. So like, I would like to come back and just hone in and look a bit more about the Yoruba, the divination, metaphysics.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm mentioning this. Rose has introduced me to metaphysics. You mentioned the book, that got you into the astrology and stuff. Saturn.
Yeah.
And I've actually got the book here on my bookshelf. And where did I get the copy of the book from? Rosanna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So it was like, I want to delve into that, like that area of information. You know what I'm saying? That body, that feel, where we all connected. And hopefully I'll be speaking to Clive in the next day or two. And then I can get him doing his one. Then eventually we can get like a 4 or 5 way thing going where we can all, like what we done the other week inside, sisters.
Yeah.
Store, but we can just do one online where we can all, just throw it down.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, but I was going to say big up, bro. Yeah, big up, bro, for, sharing the time this morning.
No problem. No, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I had one error so far with the it not recording, basically. So I just really hope this one recorded this morning.
Okay, it's ain't recording, so.
Yeah. What happened was it did record, but it didn't. The option was it stored it to cloud.
Yes. Yeah. It does that.
Yeah.
It does that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no clouding. I don't have the registration or none of that. So
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah. So it's in the cloud, bro. That one's in the cloud.
It's in the cloud.
But what was good is actually I've told the sister and we redone it and it came out even better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay. That's good.
So
That's good.
But I'm sure I've done it correct this time. And yeah, bro.
No
worries. We're just gonna communicate. And if you let me know when you can do this again, and we can.
Yeah. Let's do this again, man. Yeah, we do it soon, man. Yeah.
Like
within the next week,
man.
definitely.
Like I said, like we'll cover stuff on the metaphysics, the occult, the other stuff, and then we're just really gonna hone into like where you're at now with all the astrology stuff, man.
Definitely. You're
taking it. But in the meantime, just before we go, bro, how can people find you in it and just check you out?
People can find me website www.sacredplanets.com. I'm on it as well, Astrology of the Soul. Whether that's Instagram, Twitter, or on Facebook, Astrology of the Soul. You can find me there, or at sacredplanets.com. I'm accessible, numbers there, contact details, email, all of that is all there as well. So you can. I'm there. I'm available, bro.
Wicked, man. No, I appreciate that, man. And I'm happy that we got all the way through this and nobody's talking that COVID talk. Nobody's talking that, there's just so much more we can talk and build on.
There's more, much more to life than that.
Because when I'm showing people, I'm trying to, we're getting this stuff going and like, it's a good time to talk about the COVID and
COVID, I know.
It's like, there's just still much more going on. So man, I'm happy we got through that.
Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, man. But bro, just enjoy your day. Have a good day, my man.
Yeah,
and, like,
no problem. We catch up.
Man. We get
I'll definitely let you know. Like definitely soon as well. Maybe in the next week or something. We can sort out something. Maybe next week Saturday, same time again or something like that.
And honestly, what I'm finding though, bro, I don't have to say like, but it's basically the evenings work well because I found out there's less traffic and this static and cutting out and stuff.
So you want.
Rather than the mornings,
cool.
Let's
do an evening then.
So
okay, all right, no problem. We'll do an evening. We can do maybe next week Saturday evening. I should be free then.
All right, cool, brother. Sounds good, man.
We can do that one. Yeah.
All right, wicked. Thanks again, man, and we check in soon.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Peace.
All right, peace.